Today we are solving one-step addition and subtraction inequalities. When we are solving inequalities, we follow the exact same steps as when solving equations. So we are using inverse operations to do this, okay? So everything stays the same. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides, and that leaves me with x is less than 7, okay? And then when we graph our solutions, okay, our symbol here is a less than symbol, which means we have an open circle at 7. And if x is less than 7, I could put the number 6 in, I could put the number 2 in, and those would all satisfy this inequality here. So the arrow is going to go towards those numbers, 6 and 2. Okay, and we draw an arrow just like that. Again, open circle. Okay. Do the same thing down here in number 3. Okay, this one has 13 is greater than x plus 3. We're going to do the same thing, inverse operations, subtract 3 from both sides, minus 3. That gives me 10 is greater than x. Now, if 10 is greater than x, I again have an open circle at 10. But what numbers satisfy this? 10 is greater than, well, 10 is greater than 8. 10 is greater than 5. So my arrow has to go in the direction of 8 and 5, which is also to the left. The order of those, because x is on the right-hand side here, we have to make sure we substitute some numbers in for x to make sure it is true. Okay? Then let's come down here and look at number 5. This one has a greater than or equal to symbol, which means when we graph this at the end, it's going to have a closed circle. So let's go ahead and solve this. We're going to subtract 8 from both sides. Okay, 16.2 minus 8 is going to give me 8.2 is greater than or equal to x. Okay, because these cancel out and leave x, which means my closed dot is going to be about 8.2 here, okay, just a little over the 8. And if this is greater than or equal to, well, 8.2 is greater than 6. It's greater than 2. So again, my arrow's going in this direction. All right, there are several more that you can try there as well. And here's a couple with some fractions involved, okay? This one, x plus 6 3/4 is greater than or equal to 8. So I'm going to subtract 6 3/4 from both sides, minus 6 3/4. Okay, that is going to give me x is greater than or equal to 1 1/4, which means my closed circle is going to be at 1 1/4. Okay, and then x is greater than or equal to, well, 2 is greater than or equal to 1 1/4. 8 is greater than or equal to. So this one, my arrow is going to the right. Several more like that that you can try as well with fractions. And then down here we have some subtraction problems. Okay, when we see x minus something, okay, we see that negative sign, we are doing the opposite. So we are adding 6 now. Okay, inverse operations. So here I'm left with x is greater than 8. Okay, so again, this is greater than, so it is an open circle at 8. And if x is greater than, that means 10 is greater than, 12 is greater than. So we're going in this direction here. Here's a decimal one. Again, let's go ahead and add 7 to both sides because we have a negative 7 with the x. So we're adding 7 to both sides. We use our integer rules here. We have a negative plus a positive. So we subtract them and we keep the sign a larger number, which means I'm going to have a negative 2.4 is greater than or equal to x. Okay, then I'll go ahead and do my closed circle because it's an or equals to at close to the middle, but not quite. And then if that if this is greater than x, that means -8 is going to -2 is going to be greater than -8. So it's going to go in this direction. All these numbers satisfy that inequality. Okay. There are several more that you can try, some with fractions there as well.